So today we're going to be talking about how to build villains for Spelt. Somebody asked for me to show how to build Spelt villains, and I'm not sure if they had any particular ones in mind, but I'm just going to show a variety and talk about how I came up with them and go from there. So obviously the process of putting together a minifig is not really a lot to talk about, but I'll just talk a little bit about what went into my design process when I was coming up with some of the villains that show up in the SVELT Commercial and the SVELT Interview and other places throughout the universe. So this right here was supposed to be the epitome of the a villain who goes to SVELT, as a new villain and then slowly turns into a supervillain. So the key to SVELT is that the color scheme is white, green, and black. So you can see that there are elements of those colors throughout these series of villains. I used 3 different hair pieces, which these two are 2 Joker hair pieces, or that was the dollar bill guy from Agents. And then this Exoforce, or it's now a lettuce piece in some sets. And the torsos, I went from simple to a little more complicated technical stuff to super complicated with lots of wires. And the legs go from pure white to mostly green. Arms go from white to green, and hands go from yellow to white. So that was just sort of a series of transitions. Oh, and of course I found some faces where the mustaches slowly get larger and more ridiculous, and he gains a scar and a monocle over here. So all of these are sort of villainous in their own right, but this guy is sort of a normal dude. This one's more sinister and a little crazy, and this one is full out supervillain. What makes him a supervillain compared to this guy? Definitely the monocle and the full commitment to his crazy colored costume, I think, is a key feature that will still keep coming up again and again. So some other SVELT characters. So these were sort of a bunch of generic SVELT recruits here. These are some soccer shirts that I had that are white and green. And these characters are actually also the Spearmint Scallywags in the very first episode. But you can see I've given them all faces with the facial hair and sort of mean-looking looks, which come from a variety of Lego sets and villains. That guy lost his hat. But here again, we've got commitment to color scheme, and then just the faces are what really make them seem like villains. The female side, we've got Persephone Verada and this other spokeswoman, and again here we can see the white, black, and green color scheme, and her face is just over the top. So yeah, some other ideas for SVELT villains. Some other ones that appear in the commercial are this guy, who sort of looks like Freddy Krueger. This is the cut-off witch's hat that I've used in other videos. He's got a pretty good face going on there. Crowbar piece, this one's from Brick Forge, and again we can see that he has a full commitment to his color scheme. I started with the torso. This is an old pirate's torso, and then I just picked some red and black things to, legs and arms to go along with it, and that's sort of how he got to look how he was. This guy who's in the same shot is actually just an old Lego alien, so I didn't even make this guy up. And throughout the commercial are a whole bunch sprinkled like that. This character has elements of Harley Quinn from Batman, because I have her face and her big hammer. But then this is a ninja shirt, and wanted to give her this crazy blue hair from Exoforce, because I think it looks really cool, and it really brings out her blue eyes. And then I just made a blue suit to go with it. Some of the other villains that appear, I've put a lot more time and thought into. For instance, these 3 characters, which show up very briefly in the SVELT Commercial are the founding 3 villains who started Spelt. And for them, I wanted each of them to represent a different one of the LEGO themes, as well as being totally evil and awesome. And I wanted them all to share some consistent color scheming. So this guy is for space. I think his name is going to be Roboticus or something like that. This is the Two-Face hair, but you know, and that's one of the agent's cyborg heads. So I thought that the hair and the head made a cool combination because he's sort of half and half, and I had this old space one which was also half and half, and then, you know, going from there, that's another brick forge piece, just continuing the black and white scheme. He's sort of half man, half machine. It's an old trope, but a good one. For the castle side of things, you know, can't beat a witch, and this is the old Fright Night's witch, almost piece to piece. The body and the dress and the face. The hair, I just, you know, wanted to give her some calm hair instead of the crazy hat. And the cape is not the original cape, but a different one. And then she's just got a big, this long piece with a cone and a jewel on top for some power. And then this one is more of a town villain, so he's just sort of like a mobster. So he's got a suit and some Tommy guns, and you know, together they've sort of got black and white going on. Those are very classic colors for, I mean, they're mostly black, so they're mostly evil, but just very classic colors. And they started Spelt, so I assume green came into the picture later. And then looking at the makeup of the current Spelt Tribunal, present day, you know, these characters again, I tried to represent major themes and also a variety of different types of characters. So this was you know, some space pieces that I put together for the body and the sort of getting an android look, and then stealing ideas from Star Trek and Star Wars here. I sort of painted this Jar Jar Binks head to look like it's a Borg, so I call him Jorg. And another sort of space type villain. This one I started with the Power Miner suit, and then these pants I think are from the Agents villains, and going with the scheme of orange and blue, you know, I just extended that to the arms and hands. The Power Miner's hat, this old space visor, and then this is I think her name is Dynamite from the Agents set. And on the castle side, this guy, Varu de Vara, starting with this old Forceman torso, which is green and black. You know, his scheme is very much green and black, and we've got the Fright Knight's hat, funny little face in there, and this rare turquoise katana, which I can fit in the cape quite nicely, actually. Dark green pants. And I also took a horse and made him an evil horse by painting his tail and his mane radioactive green, giving him red beady eyes, because there's nothing scarier than an evil horse. Though his name is not Evil Horse. That would be copying. It is Mireille Monnier. Then we have a pirate villain. So she very much just took the pirate torso, but then I pulled out the red here to put on the epaulets and on her waist. And I thought the sumo wrestler head worked really nicely on her. So there she is. What's her name? Jacoby Quicone, right? And then this is Bill Brickley, Phil Brickley's evil brother. Again, started with the construction uniform and then just extended the red up and down and gave his white hands, because that's creepier than having ungloved hands. And then this one, I think this is actually just an Indiana Jones sort of military torso. And I think this face is from the Prince of Persia sets. Anyway, so you know, when making a villain, you want to get a cool looking, evil looking face, and you know, a good color scheme to go with it, and then you can just make a little backstory and a name, and then you've got a cool villain. That's really all it takes. You know, as far as Spelt concerned, of course, the green, white, and black color scheme is key if they're an important member of Spelt, especially in the training program or whatnot. But you know, as they graduate, obviously they need to form their own identities, and so they can adapt their own color schemes. So yeah, that's a little bit about the Spelt villains that have popped up in different places. Hope that was helpful. I know this is a little different than the normal how to build, but let me know what you think down in the comments, and yeah.